Welcome to my audio test and review of the fifine K688. This is an XLR or USB dynamic podcast microphone that was very kindly sent in to me free of charge by the manufacturer. No money's changed hands, they haven't asked me to say anything in particular. I'm just very excited to share with you my experience of using this so that you can make an informed buying decision. So let's get on with the review. As I mentioned, it's a XLR or USB dynamic podcast microphone. The model number is the K688. It says here better voice reproduction, USB-C and XLR. If we take a look round on this side of the box, you can see it says natural voice reproduction, tap to mute, mic monitoring with volume adjustment. So some really nice features promised. We're going to take a listen to this in action very shortly. Before we do so, let's take a look at the box contents. So we've got a user guide, a really nice printed user guide that's going to get you up and running nice and quickly. We also get a cable, so this is USB-C on one end and USB-A on the other end, and a nice little Velcro cable tie to keep things nice and neat and tidy. We also get a thread mount reducer for the threaded mount on here, so you can attach it to different size boom arms or microphone stands. And then of course we get the microphone itself, which is pre-mounted into this shock mount. Very nice indeed. This is really nicely constructed, a metal construction, and you can see with these elastic pieces in here, the microphone is suspended, and what that does is if you've got this on a desk mount, for example, maybe you touch the desk and you've got vibrations coming up through the desk, this helps dissipate those noises so they're not reproduced in the audio you're recording. Now we have got this foam shield. We can use it without this on, but I would definitely recommend having this in place. It helps with the plosive sounds. I would also recommend using a pop shield as well. We've got a really nice quality casing to the actual microphone, and of course I mentioned earlier we've got this mount here, which is a threaded mount to go onto a boom arm or a desktop microphone arm, for example. And then we've got all of the various connections and controls. This is really nice to see. So we've got an XLR connection, so we could connect this into a USB XLR audio interface, or a different sort of audio interface that accepts XLR connections. Now there's no XLR cable inside the box, so you would need to purchase that separately. But if you want to just plug and play and you haven't got an audio interface, you can plug in via USB. There's also an output for 3.5mm jack for your headphone monitoring, so you can actually monitor the audio as you're recording. And then we've got separate gain controls for both the headphone and the microphone on the back here. Really nicely organized controls. Good to see both XLR and USB supported. So without further ado, let's move on and listen to how the K688 sounds. So I've now got the fifine K688 connected to my MacBook Pro via USB-C. You can see on the top here we have got a mute button which will mute the audio or unmute, and that turns green to show that the microphone is unmuted. And we're now going to switch over to the audio coming from the K688. So now what you're hearing is the fifine K688 XLR or USB dynamic podcast microphone. I'm recording via my MacBook Pro into my audio software, and I'm going to export this audio untouched and unchanged, and you're going to hear what I believe to be some really good quality audio. It's got a nice tone to it, a nice amount of detail, and I think overall fifine have done a fantastic job with this microphone. I think it really sounds far better than you would expect at this price point. And the fact that we've got both USB or XLR connectivity makes it a very flexible microphone choice. We can connect this either directly to our computer or indeed into a separate audio interface. I think it sounds great. You can use it for voiceovers, podcasts, streaming, so many different use case scenarios, and I can certainly recommend it. If you want to purchase one of these for yourself, please do check out the links down in the video description. There's also a link down there to the manufacturer's website. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in another video very, very soon.